Hey guys, welcome to this instructional. My name is Tommy Dillesko Glangakker. I'm here from Haugesund, Norway. I have the pleasure to teach you guys my favorite game, which is the collar and sleeve. We're going to be going through a lot of back takes, submission setups, and overall a good open guard game. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Hello, my name is Espen Mathisen. I'm going to show you guys some of my favorite techniques. So we're going to work with the De La Riva guard, and from there we're going to go to X guard, we're going to go to Berimbolo, we're going to go to Matrix. So a lot of the stuff that I've been using for years with great success, so I hope you guys learn a lot.
Hey guys, so now we're going to go through my favorite guard, which is the collar and sleeve. So in the beginning, I'm just going to show you the crucial details on how to control the collar and sleeve and the main point to have a successful collar and sleeve. So the main thing is getting of course, a collar grip, a cross collar grip here. So, but I don't want to keep my grip too tight up here, because my opponent, he can circulate his head around like this, or he can start making the pressure towards me like this. And you see my hand is now loose. He's getting close to me. So what I like to do to prevent this is that I keep my grip a little bit lower under his chin here, like this. So now I can, so when he's basing up a little bit, I can still hang on him, and that he feels like I'm heavy on him, and he feels that I have a guard. At the same time, when he comes towards me, I want to use my hand, and I'm twisting it in towards his throat, here, like this. Because when he comes close, like now he's choking himself. And when he starts going away, that's when I'm start pulling again. And I'm getting my grip, like immediately when it's starting to slide down like this, I have to get my grip fast up. I'm never gripping again, like too deep and not too low, just right under the chin. My other grip is the sleeve grip. Like this is the one that controls everything, so he doesn't step over into the reverse De La Riva and so like this. So when I'm here, I get a good grip on top of his wrist, on top of his wrist. And now I'm going to be not just grabbing, but I kind of twist it like this to make it more tight for him, so it's harder for him to circle his hand. You see, and when he goes inside, I can push like this. I use my knuckles like punching inwards. Here. So I'm always in control. I'm not holding it like loose, because now it's easy for him to break the grips. So now when I have these two solid grips here, like I can control, I can still pull. You see, and now I'm controlling my opponent. Now it's my feet that's important, like where I place my feet. I always, I circulate it a lot from the bicep here and on the hip, the same time as I go to the lasso, but I never go into the deep lasso like this. It's like, I feel like I'm getting too stuck when I go too deep. So I like to have it on his biceps here, because then it's easy for me to switch it in here. So I can switch it easier when he starts making the pressure. So when I'm playing here, like I'm always using my feet. I'm not staying like in one place. I'm constantly moving to the sides like this. You see, I'm moving my hip, moving and making him think, and I'm staying active at the same time. And when I'm doing this, I'm creating angles. So I'm not just moving to move, like just doing like this. I'm setting up my angles. So like when I go to the side, it's easier for me to swing around and get my De La Riva. So at the same time, when I go to this side, it's easier for me to start going into my half guard. So everything I do is not a coincidence. I feel out my opponent, because he's not going to just stand like this. He's going to be moving. So you see, I have to have a light hip. I have to be able to move, and now at the same time be able to recover with my legs and keep him at the distance where I'm safe. If my opponent starts getting close here, I can't just accept it here, because now he's making too much space on me, and everything I do, he's gonna feel. I can start to create the momentum, but I can't attack from this position, you see? Because now I have to get him away somehow. You see, I have to be working, and it's very tiring for my feet. So what I like to do is I keep my feet at like, not 90 degrees here, but kind of like a little bit under 90 degrees, so I can easily get my knees tied to my chest. So I'm never overexposing my feet like this, because now he can just pin me down and start passing, getting close to my hip. At the same time, I'm never too much in here. I can't be playing here because now he's getting all these strong grips and it's gonna be hard for me to break. So I'm finding him at the middle distance. Even if he's passing tall or if he's passing down low, I wanna still have him on the same distance because I wanna be able to attack. At the same time, I wanna be able to recover from his attacks. If he's starting to pass or break my grips, so say if Espen breaking my grip, here. Now, I can't be extending my legs like this because then he's gonna be pinning. I wanna be getting my knees here, getting close and work on with my feet like this. And immediately get my grips as fast as I can to keep him still. So, that's one of the main, the crucial points of controlling the collar and sleeve, and this is a good starting. When you get these get these grips, you're gonna be feeling like, if you're not used to collar and sleeve, he's gonna be moving a lot. It's just getting used to these grips and like being able to control, getting the collar grip hanging on him, so he doesn't feel like he can stand up and break the grip. You want to be holding and kind of hanging on him, so he always feels like the weight is on you. So practice these details at home. Hey, so now we're going to be continue working on the collar and sleeve. We're going to be starting attacking. One of my main attacking positions is from the collar and sleeve is the omoplata. I like to do a little bit of variation because I don't use the omoplata as a submission attempt. I like to use it as either a setup or a sweep. This variation is easy to use on any size. I've used it on ultra heavyweights and to featherweight, so it doesn't matter. It's open for any weight class. If you like to do the open weight class, it's perfect. So let's go into it. So we're starting from the collar and sleeve here, like this. Now, if he's controlling my collar here, it's important that I get rid of it because this is going to be making distance. You see, he can reinforce it with his knee, and now it's getting really annoying. So one of the easiest, the most common mistakes is they're removing their hands to be breaking. And what happens then is Espen is free to move. I no longer have control over him. And he sees I have 2-on-1, and now it's so easy for him to start passing. So what I do is I keep my grips at the same position like I did in the previous. I have my collar grip under his chin. I'm using my feet. So now in this time, I'm going to be having my right foot on his hip. I'm going to get my knee on the inside of his biceps. So I'm not going to be having it here. I want to get it on the inside here because I want to break this grip. I'm using my knee and I shoot up with my hip to break. So even if he's holding very hard, I just shoot up, boom, and I break. And now I have both my grips I have strong grips here. And he's just feeling now the pain a little bit in his hand because he was holding hard. And now it's time for me to attack. Now I'm going to be using my foot as to create momentum. So I'm going to be pushing it down like this. You see? And at the same time, I'm moving my head towards his feet. And now, a traditional omoplata, you would go here and you would shoot up. And now my opponent will normally just jump over, and now I can either recover or he's going to smash me like this. So when you're fighting a larger opponent, that's not a good thing to do. So I figured a way how to prevent this. So you will break the grip, and now I will use the momentum with my other foot to go down, and now I set my foot here. I'm not shooting it, it's just a shallow omoplata. I take my foot behind his armpit here. I'm not shooting it through, I'm just keeping it right over his shoulder and his armpit. Now, what's make this different is I'm going to be using my shin and my knee like a knee shield in front of his body, across his body. And this is what makes it crucial for me to be swinging my leg, and now I want to be twisting my hip out. You see, I'm not keeping it down on the ground, but keeping it up here. Because now I'm able to move my hip. At the same time, I'm keeping the collar grip. I never release the collar grip because this is the whole thing. He can't pose. I'm pushing the hand in. At the same time, I'm swinging around like this. And now I'm using so if we turn a little bit. So now I'm using my shin here as a shield. So now if he sits down like this, you see he can't close the space because I have this. And now, like say if he's very here, I can't sweep him, I can still start going either to the omoplata or I can retreat and start going to the triangle. But now we're going to be going for the sweep. So most of the times what happens is when I go from here and I break the grip and I go in here, the opponent goes over. What happens then is like I have his weight right where I want it. So you see now my knee is perfectly lined up under his chest and his belly. I used my hook on my foot so he can't go around all the way. Now I keep my grip and I'm going to be up with my hip and I'm going to be pushing down. You can choose if you want to do the triangle on your foot, but as you go down, you have to release it. Because if not, you're going to get stuck. It depends, like if he's very strong and I can't move him, then I use the momentum here or I use the triangle. So now I sweep him and I pull down the collar grip. So like he does kind of like a front row, like this. So we turn a little bit. So now, you see my feet are free. If I had the triangle here, it would be hard for me to get up. Espen would start going up for the single leg here and I would start falling down. So now, I have my collar grip and I have my sleeve grip. So when I'm here, I release my hand here. Now my foot here, like this. I'm doing like a sit-up and I can freely release the sleeve grip. Because this is not important anymore. Because he can't move his hand that much. I can still pull, so I'm keeping my collar grip. So I'm using the momentum. Either you can grab, if you find a hard time standing up, you can grab his pants, his belt, or you can just go on, use the momentum to sit up like this. So you can sit up here, and now you can if you want, you can re-roll to the omoplata, but most of the times, the person is going to get his knees in between and recover his guard. Or you can hold his elbow like this, and you can start sitting heavy, start playing with the triangle, or you can basically just go from here and start getting into the position. So now, again, playing from the collar and sleeve, here, now breaking my grip, I shoot in, my opponent steps over, now I time it, and I use my hip up, and I pull down on his collar, and I shoot, and I use the momentum, you see, I pull this one up. I can't just have it like this, then he's gonna get out. You see, when I pull up here, Espen tries to turn, he's not going anywhere. If he goes this way, it's fine. Now I can control, I can re-roll, or I can get the position. Or I get the sweep. Either way, I win. So again, here, break, get my position, 2 points, pass, whatever. So this is a great way of taking advantage of the omoplata. It's a very efficient way to sweep. The omoplata is, I don't feel like I have a high percentage of submitting the person from the omoplata. I can take the back, but it's very hard because people are normally very cautious of it. So using this omoplata is an easy way to get a top position, getting the sweep, and it's a nice way to toss somebody. So now we're going to be working another setup from the collar and sleeve. We're going to be doing the variation of the omoplata, but now my opponent is aware of what's happening, so he knows like he's keeping distance and he's pushing away. So then it's perfect time to be attacking the triangle. So again, you'll be leaving the collar and sleeve. So this detail I can't stress enough, using my knee on his biceps, because this grip is really annoying. So like I have to be breaking this grip. Like if he's hanging here, he's too strong. I need to be shooting up like this to be breaking it. I need to control fast. Like I can't let him be in control, because then it's going to be hard for me. So I need to be dominant with my grips. So when I'm here, like my opponent, he's basing up a little bit, like looking up here. So now I broke the grip and I shoot my omoplata and I get here. But now my opponent, he's aware, he knows I do this sweep, and now you see he's pushing it down and he's circling in, because either he wants to jump over my leg or whatever he wants to do. And that's perfect time. So when he's circling in, I'm gonna be shooting up like this. And look, I'm pulling my collar grip to the side like this. The reason I do that is because I want his throat to go on this part of my muscle, inner thigh, here. Because this is the one, when I flex, is gonna go into choking him. At the same time, when I pull this one, I wanna be pulling kind of like this. You see? I'm pulling two different opposite ways. So what? I shoot my omoplata, I go here, ooh, I get here, now. And I shoot up here. It's important because I need to be pulling tight. Immediately when I get here, my muscle is choking him fast. And now when I'm here, you start doing your adjustment. Either you're breaking this grip and getting it over, but I'm never releasing my collar grip. Immediately when I'm releasing my collar grip, he can base. And now, since I'm here, so if we turn a little bit more, when I'm using my collar grip, you see I'm kind of cheating a little bit because I'm using this one as a choker on the other side as well. So since I'm keeping the grip under the chin and not too tight, because now I would just keep behind his neck. I'm just keeping the pressure. But I want him to feel the choke immediately so he's getting stressed. So I'm using this grip and I'm pulling towards. You see? Now I start already to choke. And when I shoot up, I don't just shoot, I shoot all the way and tight. My foot immediately goes over here to make the pressure. Now, my hand is going to be grabbing here. I grab, never grabbing here on the foot. The reason is because it's going to be hard. Sometimes you can pop your own ankle. That's never fun. And now I grab my shin and I use the foot to adjust to the side. And now I'll go here. Then when I locked it, this is when I can release and start pulling the head or start going for the armbar. See, just being tight. So again, from here, he has his collar grip. Now, immediately, I need to break it. At the same time, look, I have my foot on his bicep because then it's easier for me to start getting it here. If I have it under here, it can get stuck, you see? So I want to always have the front control. Here. I'm breaking the grip. Here. I shoot my omoplata. Here. My opponent defense. Now, I shoot up fast. Now, either I see where his hand is, I can choke it, take it over, grab, and lock. Again. Okay. One more, fast. This is a very efficient way of using these types of setups because when opponent, it's very hard to just get one attack and that's it. You have to be thinking what if he does? Most of the times they're going to be aware of what you're doing. So the first attack you're going to see, you're going to defend it, and then you have to follow up with something else. So this is a great way and a good way to get an efficient submission and get it fast. And since you're shooting up with your hip and you're using the dynamic, like pulling towards, using this one to be pulling towards the thigh, and this one to be breaking, because I can't be pulling like this. I have to be pulled like this, with the hand, the sleeve grip, and the collar grip, like this. And then you're pulling him towards you, you're lifting your hip up, you're getting the thigh close to his close to his throat, you're choking him out fast. So now we're going to be continuing working on the collar and sleeve. We're going to be doing combining the omoplata, the line variation, with Kimura when my opponent is very stubborn, he doesn't want to move. But I have my omoplata, but I can't sweep him. It's hard to do, but I'm still controlling his hand. So, okay. We're from this position again. Same thing, like I said in the other one. I always want to be breaking this grip fast, boom, because now I'm free. Again, I'm shooting. I'm using my hand, my foot, like this. I'm like a small detail, like you curl your toes. Because like this, it's gonna be easier for him to fall, take his hand out or over. So you kind of use your feet as hands, like this as well. Like a small detail, a lot of difference. So from here, I go for my omoplata like this, and I pull down. But now my opponent is very I can't really adjust that much, but I can pull his hand. So I pull his hand here. And since I have this grip, I'm taking my elbow inwards and I put it under like this. And say if I don't have I don't get the wrist control yet like this, but I have at least this grip. And it's just as hard for him to break this grip now. And when I'm here, it's important that I keep the weight on his head here, because I don't want him to stand up or pop his head out, because now it's hard for me to finish anything. So now I can release, when I have this grip and I'm posing up, I release the collar grip and I dive under like this. So if we turn a little bit. So I'm here. If you get this grip and you don't, but make sure that you have your elbow and I'm not laying like this, because then you can turn. I want to have it here. My hand that was on the collar grip is going to release and I'm going to go over his elbow like this now. And now I'm free. I'm going to be releasing. I like to do like so. If I don't have the good wrist control grip yet, I put my hand under like this, like scooting it under. And now I take my hand under like this. And look, I kind of use it as a pillar like this, because now I can be very persistent with it. Because if he gets his hand, say under something like this, I can't be trying to go here. I get it under like this, because now I can be stubborn with it and I can keep a lot of pressure on it. So say I'm here, this foot I like to get here, and I'm hooking it on his hip. The reason I do this is because it's going to be harder for him to move either towards me, like you see, if you go in with me, you see, I can make the distance. Because if I have it, if I have it here, it's going to be turning towards me like this, you see. Now it's much harder for me to finish my submission. So immediately my foot that was up here goes down here, because now I can push him away here, and I can keep the same amount of pressure on his hand without worrying too much about going here and like pushing him away. So I get my hand under and I use it as a pillar. I get a good grip here and I start pulling in. Now it's just a regular finish. You start going to finish it here. And you see, you use this foot to prevent them from rolling. So I keep this one here and I start twisting it. So again, laying my collar and sleeve. And I go over, you see, I pull. So even if he's here, I use my body to pull and dive in fast. I don't have a lot of time, so you need to be doing it fast. And now when I'm here, make sure that he doesn't turn his hand inwards here. So it's important that I push fast. Getting my grip, using my hand as a pillar, like this, getting the lock, and now I make the pressure in here, because even if he's holding something, I can't just be going like this. I need to be making the pressure in here. So I kind of push my wrist inwards so you can feel the pressure in his underarm like this. Like this. And now, you see, I'm having a strong grip, and now I can start submitting it. So again. So it's a very efficient way to attack because most of the time people want to be fighting tight and they're staying, like immediately when they're under attack, they just go down into either turret position or they start trying to get away, just holding. So you just have your dominant grip, and since you have your omoplata, you can just pull out, make sure you have your foot so he doesn't turn towards you. At the same time, he doesn't roll. So that's why you use your feet. You need to be hooking at all times on his hip. So when I'm here, I use my grip, I'm pulling, and immediately my hand goes under like this, go over, getting my grip, and then yank it up. Okay, so now we're going to be doing the same positioning, but with the Kimura. Now my opponent is able to roll free, and he rolls through it. So say, we do the same thing, I break the grip, I start attacking the Kimura, the omoplata, and now my foot goes and I pull and I get in here. But now he starts rolling before I start to get the yanking the hand. So immediately my feet needs to swing over, and now I switch my hand to be going for the omoplata kind of like mid-air, because if not, he's going to be getting through all the way. Så altså med når det ruller så kommer vi opp. And he's going to start going all the way, and now it's hard for me to finish. Because he uses the momentum of the roll. So I break, I go, yeah, I go, and I get here. Now, my opponent is rolling. I need to be pulling it fast. And I get my hands immediately here. Now I pull inwards, locking, keeping my thighs tight. Again, I never try and do armbar like this. Too much space for him to move. Keep it tight, get it here, and like if you have this grip, you switch immediately and you control, you get the submission. So a little bit faster. So this is a nice little detail to the omoplata, and if the person is escaping. Okay, so now we're going to be working into the famous matrix. We're going to be combining it with the Langaco omoplata. So, but now, most of the times when people are aware, they're going to be basing. So, I break my grip here. I control and I go into the omoplata variation here. I swing in and I go here. You see, I'm trying to be heavy on be heavy here, but he already knows. So he starts basing up, and you see, already getting hard for me to control this, and it's hard for me because he's kind of lifting me. And what happens is he's exposing this foot here. So when he's basing up like this, like deadlifting, I will release the sleeve first here. And the sleeve grip is now circulating, so if you turn a little bit. Now I release this and my hand is going to be circulating around his ankle, and I'm going to be pulling inwards. I like to grab the gi like this and not going too deep like this. And my hand goes from here, he bases up here, and now my hand just goes and I grab what I can get here. Now, as he's basing up, I'm going to be releasing it. When I get this grip, I release and he's basing. And now my foot is going to be swinging around. And see, my knee is now going in between his legs. I'm not going to be going on the outside here, because then I'm just going to give him my back. So my knee is going to be twisting in, kind of like the variation of the omoplata. You see, I'm twisting with my hip inwards, and look, my hip is over the ground here. My knee goes inwards here, and now my foot is going to go. I'm not on my neck, I'm on my shoulders. Because if I go on my neck, he's going to start grabbing here and start stacking me and getting me out. So I go here, and now my foot is going behind his kneecap here, and I'm going to be chopping hard down. I'm not just going to be placing it, because then it's going to be just go like this. And then I chop it down here, and I get my pant grip here. I always grab the pants. The reason I always grab the pants is because when we go fight, most of the times the gi belts is never going to be there, and if they are there, they're going to be this far up. You see, it's hard for me to get a good grip here. So I grab the pants because the pants are always there. I still keep my sleeve grip on the pants here. So if Espen turns, there's another detail here on the front. So my foot, so in the beginning when I attacked, my foot was here. And I swing around and my knee goes in. I swing around here. But what happens if I don't move this foot? He's going to be turning towards me like this. And I need to prevent it. So what I do, at the same time my foot goes around, I switch my leg to the opposite side here. Because now, when I keep here, I can be much stronger. You see? I don't triangle my legs, because I want to have my legs free. Because if I triangle it here, it's going to be hard for me to get this foot out. Then he can push it down and lock me down. So when I'm here, and I'm grabbing, getting my pant grip. So even if his hip is pointing away from me, I need to grab, I need to be pulling it inwards towards me. Now this foot, I'm free to move. Make sure that he can't attack the knee bar, so I always want to keep the knee close. I take my foot down to the floor, and now I'm going to be doing a small hip escape to the side. I push, and I'm going to be pulling. So I go like this, out, and now you see this knee, if you open it, this knee, now this knee, I'm going to be pulling in like this. And now I'm Xing his leg, like this. And now I'm going to be pulling towards me, like this. And I'm going to be releasing the pant grip on the sleeve, like this. And now I kick out. And I like to grab, getting like what I call a dog grip, like this, if I can. If not, I'm going to be grabbing here. I'm pushing out. And now I take the grip, I take the back, and I secure my position. There's a lot of details. Everything has to be working at the same time. So I can't do too much step by step. So again, break, go, he goes, grab, now, control, now, in here, X, grab, hit, and get the back. A little bit faster. So that's the basic variation of the matrix. It's like I said, it's a lot of steps. So, but all these steps are supposed to be happening simultaneously. So you don't have time. You don't have too much time to think. When you get the hook behind his knee, that's when you have the most time to think, because you're controlling his hip and you're controlling his leg. So make sure you have the hook on his far side hip so he can't turn towards you.